for people that look like me. Spaces that scream, you do not belong here. Spaces that feel like sandpaper against my blackness, coarse and rough and painful and uneasy. Spaces that are void of signs, but still I can see them hanging in a not so distant memory. Signs that separated water fountains and restaurants, blatantly reminding people that these spaces were not made for them. And although the architecture and atmosphere has changed, it says you do not belong here. I wonder why do these spaces feel, why does my skin feel so heavy in these spaces? Why is my gender an issue in these spaces? Why does it matter what my hair looks like in these spaces? You see, these are spaces I no longer want to reside in. I do not enjoy being in these spaces. I no longer want to subject myself to these spaces, but then I am reminded. As I stand in these spaces and I see the faces of these two little black girls watching me perform in awe, because I'm a woman with pinky hair like them and skin that looks like theirs and lips that look like they're standing in these spaces. Spaces that have been designed in ways that have spoken to them at an early age, reminding them that some spaces just ain't for your time. You see, that is why I'm in these spaces, being a shout in these spaces. And for every black person that has ever entered a room and wondered would anyone look like them in these spaces. And for every LGBTQ person that has wondered could they safely be themselves in these spaces. It is for every woman that has stood at the head of a boardroom table wondering would she be considered equal in these spaces. It is for every Muslim woman that has wondered could she wear her hijab in these spaces. You see, I remember those that stood in spaces not made for them, that marched on roads not paved for them, that sat down on seats and buses not earmarked for them, that sat down at counters and endured the humiliation of sitting in spaces so that one day I too could stand in these spaces. You see, that is why I'm in these spaces. It is for everyone that came before me, that sipped water at the colored-only fountain, that marched into integrated schools and knew they would be just one of nine. It is for every black performer that stood on stages so that one day little black kids could know that they too could stand on stages. It is for my mother that stood in the space of a cotton field picking cotton for 80 cents a day. It is for everyone that will come after me, for them to know that they have a right to be in these spaces, to have a seat at the table, in these spaces to have a voice, in these spaces to have influence, in these spaces you see that is why I stand in these spaces even when it makes me uncomfortable. And now some of you stand there with your hands, and now you feel uncomfortable. But today you have heard me. You cannot unsee me. In this space, I belong. In this space, we are here. And we belong here. In this space. Thank you.
Let's see y'all at the polls. Put them at the polls. The revolution will be televised. Good Double Tuesday, November the 3rd. We love y'all until freedom, until justice rolls down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. New York City, make some noise for turning up from Breonna Taylor.
Louisville, you need to meet with your group up front. If you are from Louisville, right here, we need you to huddle up to make sure you got your direction. If you right here from New York City, make some noise. You are here to protest.
But
We did a job.
Thank you. For all the New York groups, we know how New York gets down. Make some noise. If you're marching tonight and there's people not from New York, keep them safe. Make some noise. We know what it looks like to march in our cities, and when New Yorkers go to Louisville, they take care of us. So make some noise for taking care of Louisville. Make sure you meet other organizers about building. Make some noise and say hello to the person to your left and your right. Make some noise. The other thing is that if you got a dope chant, pass it up front. We want to share our chants West Coast to East Coast. Say her name. Let's say Eleanor Bumper. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. For folks in Louisville, black man was found hanging from a tree on June 9th in this borough. We cannot get an investigation. His name is Dominique Alexander. Say his name. Dominique Alexander. Say his name. Dominique Alexander. Say his name. Dominique Alexander. We want a full investigation for Dominique Alexander. Alan Felice was killed 1 year ago today in this city. Say his name. Alan Felice. Alan Felice. Say his name. Alan Felice. Make some noise for the organizers from New York, everybody. My check. My check. My check. We want to thank everyone for coming out for Breonna Taylor. Make some noise. We want to thank you all for coming out for Breonna Taylor, but we also want to remind you, as you've been reminded for this whole rally, that we need you to vote. But I also want to remind you that voting is not where it ends. It does not end with voting. After you vote the new person into office, then that's where the real work begins. That's when we have to mold this new president into who we want him to be. That's when we tell him what we want him to do. The work is not done. We have to keep showing up. For the past almost 5 months, we've been telling this city that we're going to trample the streets of New York under our feet until we get what we want. Let's show them that we were not lying. You have to keep coming out. The job is not done. We are in the middle of a battle. We are in the middle of a fight for our lives. We cannot lie down and play dead in the middle of the battle. The war is not done. Keep showing up. Keep showing out. Every time we call on you, we want you to come out. The battle is not done. Say her name. Say her name.